Marshall McLuhan said that one day we would all live in a global village.
Databases and consumer electronics designed to put vast amounts of information at users' fingertips.
8 newspapers around the country are currently in the computer network, and within the next few weeks, 3 others will join in.
I'm just trying to get my head around what's going on right now with the cost of cybercrime.
We recover from this attack that the threat remains as present as ever.
This environment in this space that we're in is ever evolving.
It is complex, but you have to start somewhere.
It's just so dynamic. You never have the opportunity to stop learning.
At the end of the day, it's about reducing risk and protecting our organization.
Remember that cybersecurity is the glue across many industries.
Why do I care? Because it's well over half of all data breaches.
So when I sit down with my peers, we all say the same thing, right? We're all frustrated with the situation. We all, pull our hair out. I don't have any left to pull out, but if I did pull my hair out.
It's okay if you fail, because we're going to fail at some point, but then you have to react and respond.
I get questionnaires that are hundreds and hundreds of questions wrong, and the questionnaires are formatted poorly. They really don't take into account applicability.
You really can't spend, that amount of time reviewing all that documentation and all those questionnaires and expect to be able to really understand what are the risks that vendor has in their environment, which in turn is your risk also at that point.
I don't think you can get by doing it manually. You have to have some sort of a tool, because just think about it. You ask questions, sir, 10, 15, 20, 30 questions. All of those have a response.
It's great to have all this data, but what are you going to do with it? And how do you make the decision who's executing on it? Who's determining what level of risk acceptance is? And is that risk acceptance even aligned to what your business leadership really thinks it is?
It doesn't matter who owns it. The CISO needs to guide and drive that. And we have enough responsibilities that we probably need to tag team that, for example, with financial or somebody who runs the contracts or legal.
It's very important that we do our due diligence and do it to the nth degree. And sometimes, it can be onerous to keep track of and maintain and evaluate on a yearly basis or a periodic basis.
I'm always quick to say that security is far greater than my team. In other words, I tend to tell our employees everyone's on the security team, right?
I think it's one thing to build a program. It's totally something else to be able to manage, maintain, and operationalize it.
So I think it's identification of the third parties and in what type of data are they managing.
You got to pay attention to it. You got to work on it and have a structured program. But to me, one of the main elements, simple as it might seem, is you actually have to have an accountability of all your contracts.
Visibility.
Granularity.
Transparency, efficiency, and completeness.
Comprehensive.
Scale.
People, tool, and standardization.
I also need to have that relationship.
Our security systems and controls and platforms need to continuously operate 24/7.
This is a great mechanism to bring security closer to the business and to begin to get that security function to understand business context, business decision making, right?
The automation piece is a key. You cannot do the continuous compliance, continuous assessment if you don't have some type of automation built either in-house or through a technology partnership.
You have to have some sort of tool. And the more you have, some companies have thousands, the more that will have to be automated and extensive.
In the 20 years plus minus that I've done this, I have not seen anything like this. This would have been around, 10, 15 years ago when we really became interested in third-party risk. Would have been godsend, I think.
If you find yourself in an organization where you don't even have a third-party risk management program in place, this serves as a blueprint for you.
You can build on this, and it's not like we did a one-shot wonder on third-party risk management in 2020. This is a third-party risk management primer that's going to live for, 4 to 5 years at least.
These are people that are both leading, but they're also in the trenches, right? And they've been there and they're seeing it end to end.
This is the guide. This is the way to understand how to build your program. This is a way to understand the right things to consider in your program. And it's also a good place to find out what the standards are that you have to think about in your program.